of how to hook the hoses up to them, what valves to turn off, what valves to turn on, just the general overall, this is how you flush a tankless water heater. The first thing I normally do every time I go to a tankless water heater that needs to be flushed is I'll pull this out of the wall, okay? No need to shut the gas off, anything crazy like that. No need to turn the water off to the house. Our bucket comes with a pump and 2 laundry machine hoses per se, okay? We want to go ahead and take our caps off of the flush valves, okay? Now when we go to a tankless water heater that Billy Bob put in from down the road, and he ran the water lines directly to the bottom of the tankless, and the tankless that they bought was scratch and dent and didn't come with the flush kit, that may need to be added. That is not included in a standard flush price, okay? But the hose that goes off of the top of the pump goes to the cold side, okay? So in essence, what we're doing is we're wanting the water from the flush kit to go through the tankless water heater the same way that the water flows through it, okay? Which means the return line goes to the hot side and comes back to the bucket, okay? There's a few different things that we can use here as far as solution, vinegar. If we use vinegar, white distilled vinegar, use about 1.5 gallons of it, okay? It works the same as the solution, but your bucket, your pump, and everything will reek. It'll be sticky and everything like that. So we've isolated the tankless. We've got the water shut off to the incoming cold, the outgoing hot. We've got our service valves open, both on the cold and the hot. Tankless is powered down. At that point, we want to go ahead and plug the pump in, and we want to watch it, kind of like we were just talking. We want to watch it, and we want to wait for the water to start coming back out of the exit line and dumping into the pail. Okay. How long are we going to let this go on a typical basis? In between 45 minutes and an hour, that is correct. But during this 45-minute to an hour time frame, we can be doing other things related to like plumbing inspections, conversing with the customer, kind of different things like that versus just sitting there on a bucket watching it happen, okay? Typically there's a floor drain, a door, a bathtub, a toilet, something in and around near the hot outlet side that we can hook a 50-foot garden hose to. We can go ahead and close off the service valve for the cold side. Go ahead and unhook that hose, okay? And now all we're left with at that point is the discharge hose hooked to the hot side. We still haven't turned the water back on. We're obviously having this drip into a bucket, and if we got to go to like a floor drain way down the hall or something, or put a longer hose on this, this is the moment that we would do it. So both of the cold valves are off. The exiting one for the hot is off, okay? We put this in the floor drain, hold it there. We're gonna turn the water back on to the tankless water heater, okay? We're gonna let this run into a floor drain for about 5 minutes. Once we've let that run for roughly 5 minutes, go ahead and turn the cold water back off. Go ahead and turn the water off to your service valve. Go ahead and unhook your hose. Throw it back in your bucket. So we got, these are closed now as far as the service valves. We want to go ahead and open the cold back up. We're going to pressurize the system. We're going to have the lid off. We're going to take the lid off, make sure there's no internal leaks that have occurred. You know, chlorine causes the pinhole. Hardness seals it off. What are we doing with a flush kit? Removing the hardness. What could we expose? These are conversations that we need to have with customers before we get started. So we got it pressurized. We verified there's no leaks inside. Last thing we're going to do is open back up the hot valve to supply the hot water to the home. Again, we're going to go to another faucet, let it run for 2 or 3 minutes just to kind of get any air pockets that might be in the water heater out. Turn that faucet off. We're going to come back down. The first thing we did is the last thing we're going to do. We're going to plug the bad boy back in. We're going to go to another faucet. We're going to let it run for a few minutes, verifying it did fire back up. It's back in operating position, and we're good to go. What questions do we have?